I like a QuickShifter on my motorcycle, and I've had a fair few over the years. I've tried the HM Plus, I've had the Heeltech QuickShifter Easy, and now we're testing the Translogic Intellishift QuickShifter. Now this QuickShifter is a bit like the Heeltech in the fact that it actually adjusts its kill time based on the revs the bike's doing. So that's very similar to the Heeltech. The HM Plus is quite a basic QuickShifter. That makes no allowance for any rev related changes. So you can only set the QuickShifter up to be optimum at a certain point in the rev range. So they're a little bit restrictive. I mean, they work fine on the track if you're just, changing gear near the red line all the time. Works absolutely fine. But if you want a QuickShifter for the road, it needs to be a little bit more sophisticated if you want to use it throughout the whole rev range, and if you want something which works as well as some of the OEM systems which are fitted on the new bikes. Now Translogic have been making QuickShifters for many years. They also make a lot of OEM ECUs for cars, a lot of other electrical systems which they don't shout about. So electronics is their thing. So they're a UK based company. They're only based down in Poole. So I thought I'd give one of their units a go, see how it compares to the QuickShifters I've used in the past. So what do you get within the box with the Translogic system? Well, first of all, I've noticed you actually get the linkages needed for the gear shift. On things like HM, they're actually an extra, so you actually get those included, which is nice. And they're extremely nice quality as well. The whole feel of this kit is of a high quality feel. Then you get a few stickers, you get fitting stuff, a few zip ties, sticky mounts, a little spacer of some description there, and of course you get the actual unit itself. Now another thing which is worth pointing out with the Translogic system is these QuickShifters are made bike specific. They're not generic and then have a different adapter kit for whatever bike you have. These are produced and set up at the factory for your bike, for specific models. So that should give a real superior shift, because these are actually designed for the bike, the application they're being used for. So bench test complete, installation complete. Now the point you've been waiting for, the road test. Oh yeah, I've tried lots of quick shifters in my years, the HM, the Heeltech, and now the Translogic, all been on this bike, same bike. This Translogic quick shifter is by far the best I have ever used. It's even better than I would say than some factory fitted quick shifters I've used. It is amazing. They have spent a lot of time perfecting this quick shifter over the years, and what we have now is a system which I don't think you can better it. I think it's just flawless, absolutely flawless at any revs. Most quick shifter manufacturers will tell you do not use it between first and second because neutral's in the middle. It's too, you need a bigger pause basically. But they've even got this working nicely between first and second, and they say you can indeed use it between first and second. Between first and second. And they've even tuned a sound. You can say it sounds a bit fluttery. Well, that's on purpose. They've put that in, and basically what it does is they don't just kill all the ignitions together, bang. They kill certain coils in certain order, so it's like a smooth, it's not on off, it's not all the coils killed at the same time. It goes across them, and that's the secret to getting this really smooth shift. I love it. I love the sound it makes. I love how smooth it is. As I mentioned, Translogic actually make their sensor is used by a lot of OEM manufacturers on their kits. I won't say who uses it, they don't want me to, but it is. And it actually works better with their kit than it does on a lot of the OEM stuff, because obviously the OEM guys, they don't spend as much time tuning the software side of it. They just use the sensor. But Translogic have spent years literally developing the actual software to get a smooth cut. Let's try again, first and second. So nice. And this, remember, is out of the box. I have not played with anything. I've plugged it in and I have ridden. No faffing with setting up whatsoever. It works beautifully. Now, for if any reason you wanted to fine tune it, there's something called the Pro Tune mode, where you go by into a certain setting with the unit and you put it in, and you can adjust the times for different revs, or give yourself a little bit more between 3,000 and 5,000 or whatever. So that option is there, but for me, I've not had to use it. I've always had to fanny about with my quick shifters, getting them to work after installation. It's the worst bit. The install's a piece of cake. It's the faffing. Woo! Basically, this thing works out the kill time. It looks at the load you're putting on the pedal itself. It looks at the revs you're doing, and it basically adjusts constantly to give you a smooth change. If you've got a Yamaha, a sort of more modern Yamaha which has ride-by-wire throttle, there's an add-on for this quick shifter called the Auto Blipper, and basically what that does is as you push the quick shifter down to go down a gear, it will actually give the bike a slight bit of revs to help with the downshift. So when you downshift, I tend to blip. Not quite, as a bit excessive, but that's how you do it. And the blipper actually does that blip for you, so you can do downshifts without using the clutch. And that's one thing you can't do with most quick shifters. You can't do downshifts because you really need to blip as you downshift to get a clean downshift. And I would love it, but unfortunately the old Honda relies on cables. But that's being expanded to other models as well now, and it's going to not just be Yamahas, they're developing it for other bikes, so watch this space. point at changing gear when you don't really have to, just to enjoy it. Super impressed with this QuickShifter. I can't praise it highly enough. Honestly, it's the best thing I've ever used. I don't think you could better it. The only downsides I can see to this is, it's a big unit. There's a lot of wires. It's quite a large ECU, relatively speaking. I mean, I'm nitpicking here. I'm trying to find some things which could be improved with this. But yeah, it's quite a large unit. There's a lot of wire. There's a lot to coil up. If you don't use the blipper, then it's another wire you have to coil up. It would be quite nice if it was shorter, where the blipper connects. Have it just 2 or 3 inches into the wire, have the connector there, so you haven't got a big massive coil of wire to lose. But that's it really. I mean, there's not many criticisms you can throw at this thing. It is fantastic. It is fantastic. So it's a massive hold gloves thumbs up from Lamb Chops. Now this QuickShifter was lent to me for testing. I have to return it to Translogic, but there's no way that's happening. I'm keeping this bad boy now. I'm going to have to buy it.